Hey, how's it going? Welcome back to the channel. Today's video, I'm going to be taking a look at a game called Kingdom New Lands. And if you know about Kingdom, if you know a bit about Kingdom, you might also know that recently there is actually a sequel to this game, which is excellent, because obviously there's not much of a point in playing this one. But since I don't have it, and since I was planning to play this anyway, I'm going to now. Of course, sometime in the future I might play the sequel. But as far as I've seen, it's basically the same game, but with a bit of extra stuff added on. But anyway, I will get into the game. We will play it, and we will see how things go. First of all, you'll see there's a big ghost dude. And to sum up the game, basically, you're trying to help a kingdom survive against this threat of evil creatures which want to steal all your money and gold. But anyway, stand here. Hold A to light a fire. So you put coins into the thing, and then you do stuff. Stand here. Throw coins to recruit. So we give coins to these little homeless guys, and then they pick them up and they become citizens of my kingdom. I can buy a bow from this place, and one of my citizens will pick it up and start doing archery things. You can hold the triggers to run as well. I can buy a hammer for this guy, and then he will start building things. Right now he has nothing to build, but if I pay for a wall, he'll come over and start smashing it with his hammer until it's fully built. And this guy, at the moment, all he'll do is shoot rabbits, and for every rabbit he shoots, I get 1 gold. And these are little camps where those little homeless people come from. So that's of course how you build up your citizen ship. So I'll get another bowman and another one. Oh, I see, it's waiting for them to actually pick up. I'd have liked to have actually made a second builder, because whilst I only need 1 now, probably they become very useful later on. But they're gonna pick up their bows, and this guy's gonna tell me to fucking build, expand, defend, and then he's gonna fuck off and leave me to do it. So helpful. Bye-bye, little man. I'm gonna build a wall here because it's probably a good idea, given that it's becoming late. So during the day, of course, you do all this expansion. You get guys, archers go out and kill rabbits, etc., etc. But during the night, that's when the evil things come. But we'll see that once they actually do come. This guy right here has been unexplained, and I'll leave it like that until tomorrow, because it'll be fairly evident what he does when tomorrow comes. Can't remember if the first night is completely safe or not. I don't think so. I think there's like 1 or 2 that appear. So it's good that I've got some archers to begin with. And I'll let my guy eat some grass. That's something that there is quite a few things in this game. It's like Rainworld in that there's a lot of ways. In Rainworld there's a lot of ways to move, etc. that the game doesn't tell you, such as you could do backflips. That's one. And when you're shuffling in tunnels, you actually move slower going backwards, so you have to press A, and then you sort of shuffle around and you're moving the other way again. You move backwards and you press A, and then it does that. In this game there's a lot of things, such as the fact that your horse has stamina, so you run for a bit and it's like, no, I don't want to run anymore, and you can only walk. But if you've eaten grass, you can see there's a particle effect from my horse's hooves. Which is because I've got a stamina bonus from eating grass, which means I'll run out of stamina much slower, which is something that was very useful, and I didn't realise until fucking ages after, and I had to look up on the wiki. So there's a couple of things, even in games where it's so much better to sort of work it out yourself, where there's things that you may never work out, and it may actually be a good idea to just go on the wiki, or, you know, if you know about it, to tell someone else that's just joining. But that's mostly just because I'm shit at noticing things. Now this guy, because it's the daytime, he'll just chuck a bunch of coins at me, for seemingly no reason, but if I give him a coin, he'll go back, he'll go all the way to the right to his little hut, and after a while he'll come back with a bunch of goods on his donkey, and he'll give me, I think, 8 coins in the morning. So basically, you're giving him 1 coin for the day, he comes back next day, gives you a bunch more coins, which is very useful. But right now, I'm gonna get a guy, but I'm also gonna do some exploration, because that's a good part of this game. This is where the merchant hangs out for the day. This is a treasure chest, which is another good reason for going out exploring, or just a good reason. I haven't actually said any good reasons yet. Trees, by the way, you may have noticed I can put coins into them. Basically, you can't build anything. For instance, this sort of mound here is where a wall would go, but I can't build it because it's in a forest. I cut down these trees, and then this whole area, up until this tree, becomes unforested, and I can build anything inside of it. And it gets a bunch of grass, so rabbits can spawn there, and my horse can eat there. But as we continue, there's another homeless person camp, or as the wiki says, vagrants. So I'm going to call them vagrants, or I think the vagrants is the correct pronunciation. This is a cool little statue. I won't bother putting coins into it yet. It basically temporarily allows your archers to be way better for, I think, 3 days before you have to put another bunch of coins in. Very useful. I'll run past this so I don't pick it up, because I've got a fairly full coin pouch. You'll probably see what happens if you get an overflowing coin pouch later. It's just not very good. Oh, that's bad. Okay, so those are the bad guys which didn't show up last night. Because it was the first night, I assume. But that right there, all the way to the left, that big sort of mountainy black rock area, is an evil portal, which spawns bad guys during or close to the night. It usually does it. It times it so that the bad guys arrive at the same time, so if it's further away from your outermost wall, it'll actually spawn them a little earlier than if it was closer. But those guys basically spawn. These guys might fucking die. I hope not. I'll follow them actually, because I'd rather keep them. But then again, I could just come out later and give them coins again. Yeah, because I could, if there was, say, just one, I'll do it now, just for science. I'll drop a coin, and basically they grab your coin and run away. And if they'd come up to me, they would basically jump at me, I'd drop a whole bunch of coins, and they would of course pick them up. And of course they could only pick up one at a time, so it would be the same outcome, but if there was multiple, they'd all pick up on my coins at once. And not only that, but a bunch of them would actually fall into the river below me, and they'd be lost forever, which is definitely not good. But yeah, they basically spawn from that portal every night, and make a rush towards my walls, and then my archers shoot at them. And as you see there, they actually killed that deer, and deers are worth much more than rabbits, as you might imagine, but they're a lot harder to hunt because they run around and stuff, and they take more hits. To begin with, I'm gonna buy 2 builders actually, and 3 archers. I'm gonna pay for this first so that I don't get an overflowing wallet from this guy. But let me give him his coin, and actually, it's been long enough that I can put some more coins in this fire, so I'm gonna do that. And some tents up here. That wasn't completely useless. In this case it kind of was, and you can see I've got a little flag, and that's randomly generated, but you can actually go to the pause menu, put in a custom flag, but it has to be from text, so you can go on the wiki and see how you can make different flags. but you have to sort of type it in, or Control C, Control V. But I don't mind. I kind of like this flag. A nice little salamander. But yeah, upgrading the fire. At this stage, what it would have done is if I hadn't got these sort of wooden outer walls yet, it would have built them automatically. So basically I would have saved 2 coins. But right now it didn't do anything but bring me closer to having the next upgrade for this fire. At this point, I'm going to journey to the left, because in this first level, there's only one portal, and that's only on one side, of course, which means on this side there's no portal, and there's a bunch of stuff. For instance, this boat, which I'll come back to once I've stopped going over here. There's also this. Now this I would have liked to have reset, because I've played through basically the entirety of the game, but basically this unlocks new things for you that appear. It basically gives it more replayability, I suppose. But if usually it's one for each island, and you go up to it and you put some coins in, and then there'd be a piece of paper on this sort of square bit of wood, and then after you either died or completed the level, it would say, oh, you unlocked such and such, and then that thing that you unlocked might be in the next level you played. For instance, this right here, this isn't unlocked at a base, but now, because I've unlocked it, this whole sort of area, this background, and also this horse has appeared. Now what I can do is, if I want, I can spend 3 coins, and I'll be able to use this horse as a mount. And I'll actually do that because it's fairly cheap. Ooh. And I can't quite remember what this horse does, but I think it might be something like you can barge through enemies, or perhaps it takes multiple hits, or it takes off less coins when you get hit. But it looks like it's a barge thing, because when you run it does that sort of shine on the horn. But that's the kind of thing you get from those things there. These those things, that on the right. But of course I've got all of them, so you won't see me unlocking anything, you'll just see some things which I've already unlocked. But as I was saying, of course this side has no portal. But what that does mean is it has something else instead of a portal. Which I'm going to try and find, and hopefully my whole base hasn't been ravaged, but it shouldn't have been. And this is it, this is the dock. Which basically is the way that you leave the level, you complete the level. You have to get to the dock. But obviously it's more than that, because I just got to the dock and I haven't completed the level. Basically that boat you saw before, I have to put a bunch of coins into it. I have to build it up until it's completely ready. Then I have to set it off on its way. A bunch of guys get put inside of it, and then it travels to the left to the dock. Then I put a bunch more coins in it, and then it sets off and I've completed the level, and I go to the next level. So I'm going to shove a bunch of coins into it right now. It'll drop a whole bunch of planks. My builders will come over and start building it. I'll leave that for now, because I'm running a little low. And I'll go check on my actual citadel. It's not really a citadel, it's way too tiny. A hamlet, basically. Even though you can, strangely, build an entire castle in it, it still barely goes bigger than the size of a fucking town. Take my money from the merchant, give him a coin, and there's been a lot of money collected by these guys, which suggests to me that it might be a good idea to start investing them. Now when I say investing them, you might think, oh, I don't know why they're glowing, it might be to do with my whole armor thing. I really have no idea what this does, but maybe I won't bother looking at it on the wiki. I'll find it out myself if I do. But yeah, when I say investing, I don't just mean putting my coins into more things, I do mean investing. Because basically something you can do, actually, I'll show you later, because you need to upgrade the fire a bit more for that, which is a bit annoying because I can't upgrade it right now, because it has a cooldown. What I will do is I'll actually start chopping down some of these trees so you can see it, and I'll add a bit more builders because I'll add 2 more. Do I have? Yeah, I had those 2 guys I sent back before. Can't remember if I actually just walked past them or not. I'll leave upgrading the walls for now, because it's okay, and I've just set them to go to the boat. So, and also it's really close to, oh, and also the trees, yeah, and it's also it's close to night, so if I tell them to go building, then they'll just get killed. Let's see on this side. Is this? Here they come. So you'll finally be able to see this. The archers pinging arrows at them. And hopefully they'll be able to take them out before the wall crumbles, and they did. And I will upgrade this, because it's getting to a point where there's enough enemies that they may end up actually breaking down the wall if I don't do that. And here we can see, actually maybe I should have done this instead. Because I think if I'd done that, that would have upgraded the wall for free. Nope, actually, it wouldn't. But you can see here now there's, next to the merchant, there's a new guy. And he's just sort of standing here doing whatever. And if I give him some coins, if I give him enough coins, he'll put them into the castle. And then, if you can see behind the fire, there's a modest pile of coins. But what that'll do is, actually, I can't have a look at my coins unless I go, yeah. I've not got a huge overflow of coins, so I won't pile them on. But every time I have too much coins or more coins than I know what to do with, I can just give them to the bank, and that'll be fine. What I'll do here is I'll give coins to those guys, and you can see that there's not a huge amount of hunting space after this wall, which is a bit unfortunate. But I don't want to knock down this tree, because what would happen is this vagrant camp would cease to exist. And if I did something similar on this side, this guy's place would cease to exist and I couldn't get merchants anymore. Of course, there's vagrants on the left side, but I don't really want to get rid of my options in case I really do need to start bringing in a lot of vagrants each day. Oops. So I'll leave it like that for now, and I'll actually start coming from this side and see if I can't build something here which would bring me closer to the portal and also give me a much bigger hunting ground. Oh, actually that I believe is the sound of the portal. And might be the sound of something. Ooh, that's definitely the sound of something new. A blood moon. We shall see in the background if the bloody clouds clear away. Basically, it just means an extra strong wave, which I should have anticipated because it happens basically every 5 days. Good side is after a blood moon, you don't get any enemies the next night. Bad news is I'm gonna lose all of my fucking guys. All of my builders, at least. Really wish all 4 of them hadn't come out at once. And I really wish they'd have the foresight to actually sprint earlier on and not go at a fucking snail's pace. Because there are a whole wave of dudes. There is a whole wave, that is. It's coming. I'm not going to give cash to that guy, of course, because then he'll die and I'll lose that money. When I say die, essentially, they just turn back into vagrants, and I have to give them money again, but I'll lose that money anyway. And if they do get turned into vagrants, they lose their tools as well, which is certainly not good. And I'm actually gonna get 2 more archers, because I think... Oh, actually, I think there's only 1 citizen without a job. But here we dealt with it pretty well. What I'm going to do just to show it off is I'm actually going to build up this. What the rocks do is they're actually archer towers. And you can put a little archer man on them. And I'm going to build it up slightly high because that gives him a higher perch. Gonna go up to my merchant, take his fucking money, give him a coin back, And I will now... I'm actually going to go to the left and see how many coins I've gotten from archers on this side, because they have a lot of hunting. Especially after I cleared that grove of trees. Would it be a grove? I'm not sure. This is new as well. But I'll continue. Actually, no, I'll make it now because it'll be more difficult afterwards. But no. Basically, if I build it up, it's not built yet because I forgot it needs to be built first. But it is a catapult, and essentially, instead of using archers to defend the walls, you use a catapult which is manned by builders. So 2 builders will man it, which means I probably want to replace those 2 with new builders, and I'll go through based on that. That string is actually getting kind of annoying, to be honest, and I don't know what it does. So I'll not go back and replace it with my regular mount, but if I come across a different one, I definitely will. But those guys will go and become builders, and I'll replace the builders who are becoming catapultmen. And what I'll do is I'll build out to here, which I probably should have done earlier on, but I didn't. But basically what happened is that catapult's really slow, so it's going to take its time to actually come to here, whereas the archers are just going to rush over, and they'll be here quite quickly. But of course it's the day after a blood moon, so I don't need to worry, which is certainly good. This right here is a stream, and what happens is if you put money into a stream, it becomes a farm, and farmers can use it to build wheat fields, which they'll harvest and give you a whole bunch of money once they've harvested them. But it does take a couple days, or a few days really. And you may have seen the sort of scythes back towards the left here, these scythes. So if you pay 4 for one, and a vagrant, or a citizen rather, will come across and grab one, and they'll rush over to the nearest farm, and they'll start farming out a little field. Problem is, if you have one farmer, they tend to be a bit overzealous and start creating 2 or 3 fields, which they won't be able to upkeep, so they won't actually be able to do anything, and all the crops will die. So you want to have like 2, I think, at the least, and then it's 6 at most for a farm. But the problem is after that is if you have multiple farms, what they end up doing is they start taking shifts at each other's farms, which then takes time for them to walk over to each other's farms, or at least that's what it seems. That's what I found through playing. So it's always best to try and have 6 at each farm, because then they shouldn't mix and match between them, or at least I don't believe so. What also happens with farms is, well, it's something else which I'll show you once I actually build the farm, because it's not really worth explaining right now. But for now, since that, well actually, yes, it's at the 2nd level. Since that's been done, I'll expand this way. And I'll go as far as the vagrants. Yes, I can get this. And I'll hire these 2. And oh, I don't actually have enough money. Ah, yes, speaking of money, I forgot. I didn't actually get these chests. So I'll get both of them, seeing as I have the space. Oh, and something I didn't mention about the banker is, not only does he store money for you, but I believe he creates interest. So, I think the interest depends on how much money you have with him, but it's like 1% if you have 10 coins, and it goes all the way up to, I believe, 8%. Or, no, sorry, per day it's like 1 coin if you have 10 coins, and 8 coins per day if you have 100 coins, and that's the max. So it's like it slowly builds up, and then when you get to 100 coins, it starts giving you 8 coins per day, and then if you have more than that, it just stays at 8 coins per day. That's what I've heard, at least. I don't know that for sure. But what I might do is build a farm here. Now the problem with this farm might be evident already, if you know what's going on. I like this music, by the way. I really like the music in this game. It's real nice. It's not my favourite song, this one. I can't remember. I think I had the OST on Spotify, and I believe my favourite track was called Together. I'll point it out if we hear it, but anyway, that doesn't matter. There is a bit of a flaw with that farm, which you may have noticed, but I'll mention it once we actually get some farmers. I'll get 4. And if we actually have some spare citizens, I might get more. But these guys, they'll make their way out to the farm, and they'll start scything away at the ground, and they'll make a couple fields. And they only do that during the day. During the night, what'll happen is they'll come back from the farm, and they'll hang around near the center of the town, which is a problem, because the farm is actually quite far away, and it's going to take a little bit of time each day for them to wander their way out to the farm, which means I'll get much less efficiency than, say, if it was much closer. But I didn't actually see any streams that were really closer, at least not on this side. I might create a farm on the left side. But for now this is fine, because they'll come out, it'll become nighttime, they'll go back towards the center before the bad guys come, and they should at least make some progress each day. Something that I've noticed, that other people playing this game have noticed, but really haven't thought much, or at least they haven't been able to explain, is for some reason during the night, one or more builders will sort of wander outside of the walls for seemingly no reason. Which is kind of nonsensical, because it's like, what's the point? You're just gonna get fucking murdered if you're not quick enough getting back inside. But I kind of thought it was sort of thematic. As in, it doesn't really do anything, but you could kind of imagine that he's acting as a lookout, and then when he runs inside, it's like, oh, the greed are coming. Even though that doesn't make any difference whatsoever to the actual gameplay, and it really doesn't tie in with the gameplay. But I like to pretend that's the reason. Now you'll notice that I can upgrade this even further. What that does is it actually puts a little wooden hut here, and what that means is that any farmers will stay here during the night. They won't actually be protected, which is unfortunate, because greed will just run by and smack them and take all their shit from them. So I'm not going to do that because it's outside the walls. But what you can do is build a wall further ahead, upgrade this, and then the farmers will be here 24/7. They won't work during the night, but they won't have to walk all the way here during the morning, which is certainly very good. I'm not going to build a wall here, because I need space for these guys to build 6 fields, but I will... Actually, I would build a wall here, but this vagrant camp means I won't be able to expand, and then I'd have barely any hunting ground. So what I might do is I'll see if I can find a clearing. I can't remember if there's a clearing. I don't think there was. Oh? No. See, there's a clearing here, obviously, but I don't want to put my builders all the way out here and risk them getting mauled to death by the greed. I didn't mention that's what they're called. I've just been calling them that, but that is their name. But anyway, it's been actually quite a bit of time, and I think it's about time that I went back to the boat and started putting money into it, because of course that's the win condition, and I actually need to make progress in that. But yes, I'll make my way over to... I won't get any more guys, because we have plenty of guys. I don't need any more. What I'll do is I'll get 2 more scythes, because that means I have 6 farmers. Something that I have sometimes found with farmers, which is very annoying, is that seemingly arbitrarily, they'll just not go out to the farm. And I think it might actually have something to do with their colour, because the guy who was out there was blue, this guy is sort of khaki green, and this guy is a sort of reddish pink. So I think that they're actually sort of split into different groups of workers, where the blue ones go to one farm, the red go to another, and the green go to another. Which may also explain why they share, because I would have like tens. Oh no, actually, oh no, those are the guys that just grabbed scythes, of course. But you'd have I'd have like tens of farms. So it might be that there's only the 3 colours, and that's why they share, because the blues are going between 2 blue farms or something. I really have no idea, but it's certainly a possibility. But now I have 6, and that means I have 2 of each colour. I never found anything on the wiki about farms, but that might be just because I never researched them, because I didn't think. Oh, jeez. Ah! This may be Together, or it may be my second favourite song. I just remember I really liked it because it sort of... No, this is my second favourite. Because it sort of starts playing before dawn, and just as dawn comes, it sort of... At that very moment, it sort of... gets in... It, like, that's the end of the introduction to the song, and it's... It brings a tear to my face. The beauty of it. Something like that. I just really liked it. I won't bother building a catapult for this side for obvious reasons, because there is no portal. What I will do is make my way to the boat. Now there's a lot of things like the banker and other stuff which is kind of pointless on Island 1 simply because of how little time you spend here. I mean, even now I've spent 9 days, and that's probably a lot longer than I needed to. I think I needed... There's like an achievement, which I may have got already, which is leaving the island in like less than 5 days. So that shows how little time you really need to spend on Island 1. There's another thing which I guess this specific playthrough proves you don't need on Island 1, which I'll mention if we see it in Island 2, but it's really kind of an important core part of the game, which occasionally just doesn't show up on some islands, which I assume is more of a problem when you have more stuff unlocked. Again, I won't bother with vagrants. It does seem... well, that guy is out here, but he's not actually doing anything. Here's one of the green guys. I just don't get it. I don't get how farmers work. There's only one guy out here, and the rest of the guys aren't bothering doing anything. It might be because it's too far away for them to actually bother coming out. In which case I might actually... No, I won't bother with the farm. Like, I've showed how they work. I'm okay with getting all my income from archers. Since... you know, I'm not going to be here for much longer. Although I might stay here just to show off some more things, you know. I might try and move out further towards the portal. I might get rid of that vagrant camp, seeing as I have the closest one. Or the closer one, rather. And as such, I don't need that. And seeing as I was sort of talking about how I didn't really need vagrants last time, or at least sort of the last time I passed that one. The catapult does sometimes annoy me, especially when they all get close to the wall, because it always seems to fire, not that time, but sometimes it seems to fire way too far away from the wall, and I've seen them occasionally fire quite close to the wall and actually get them. And it doesn't seem like it should be that much of a bother. But I'm going to get those last 2 vagrants. Going to cut down this tree. And then we'll continue going this way. And expanding. And then I will actually upgrade that farm to full. Right. Now this will cut back a little bit, and eventually it'll actually let me cut down this tree. Because of course you can't just go into the middle of a forest and be like, I'm going to cut this tree down, because then you could start cutting down the forest from the inside. And then it would be sort of much easier to You know, you won't have to delicately balance something, I don't know where this is going. Oh well. But yeah, I'm gonna cut down these trees. I'll probably put a thing here. Although it doesn't have a sort of archer tower, so it's not the best, but I haven't really needed archer towers so far. So I think I'll just be able to deal with it. Another farm there, which might be useful to build, seeing as it's certainly far away enough from the first one to have enough space. Oh. I can't tell if that's blood moon music. It has been another 5 days, so it would certainly make sense. Oh dear, I don't want all those coins, please. Oh no. You can keep those. Here we go. These are the ones where the catapult is most satisfying. That wasn't even a very strong wave. That's unsurprising given the fact that it's level 1 basically. What I might do actually is build it to here, because that's closer and it takes much less time to sort of move up. Going bit by bit is a good strategy, it seems. And then I'll move to here, and there should still be enough space for that farm if I decide to build it. But now this is going to be upgraded. And what that'll do is it'll mean that any farmers working here will stay here during the night and just hang out. And hopefully that'll entice the others to come over instead of just sort of staying there like a bunch of dinguses. Let's see, this guy's coming over. I assume he's going to come work the field. That guy is just sort of standing there, which is annoying. A lot of guys just sort of standing places. Get some more archers, actually. Right. What to do next? I'm not entirely sure. I think I might just see what happened. Well, that was a blood moon, wasn't it? So I have a lot of time to do things here, don't I? So I might actually expand up to the next wall right now. Just let my horse eat some grass. Just cause... Give me that. It was this one, wasn't it? Yes? No? Yeah, would have been. And then I'll upgrade this wall, and then I'll expand further to the right, probably. And then... there isn't much else along this way, it just gets us closer and closer to the portal, which sometimes isn't a very good thing. Because of course, if you're... well, there's sort of a line where it's like easy to deal with and then harder to deal with, and that's it. Because essentially, if you're far enough away from the portal, then it'll get to a point where it's already daytime and they haven't reached you yet, or not all of them have reached you yet, or you haven't quite killed all of them, but because it's now daytime, they're running away, because on every night except a blood moon, if you don't manage to kill all of them by morning, they'll just run away. If it is a blood moon, they'll keep attacking and just fucking slam right through your entire your entire kingdom until they're killed or you're killed, or until they grab like a coin and then run back. There we go. What's this song again? I'm trying to keep an ear out, but I keep forgetting. So it might have actually passed that song that I like, and I didn't even notice. There's another song I like, which is Nope, can't remember. But it brings back old memories of playing this game. Brings the nostalgia. Let's see how the farm's doing, if it's actually got people there. See, this guy's already here. He's... What he's doing is he's trying to get his second field going after, I assume, he's harvested the first one. And now he's making a third field, which is a problem, because he can't look after all of those. But hopefully, because now there's 3 fields, the rest of the guys will come. It might be the case that actually without this hut, maybe only one guy can work on each farm? I don't remember that being the case, but it's possible, I suppose. I'll go back and see. It's possible. Well, this guy's coming out, so he's probably coming to work on the farm. But I've had it where it sort of takes... You saw there, by the way, when my pouch overflowed. Coins will just... If they... Because the pouch is sort of physics-based, if it gets overflowed, they'll sort of fall out. And if they fall out the side, then they'll either drop on the ground and it'll be fine, you can pick them back up, or they'll drop into the river and you can't get them back again. That time, that was fine. That one's just about bouncing. I'll give this guy all my coinage. I think it takes about 9 coins for him, oh dear, to go back here. Basically, I'll drop a bunch of coins here, and since this is basically where he stands, he'll pick up a bunch of coins, chuck them in, and what have you. I think I'll build another farm, maybe. In which case I'll need 6 scythes one time. And actually it would have been a better idea to take money from this guy, but I don't know if he'll give me money now that I've given him money. He does have a kind of a reputation of being really fucking annoying, in that you walk past and you don't want money and he just throws it at you. But he also sometimes has a reputation of not giving it to you when you want it. So sad. Oh well. There's probably a bunch... Actually, there's probably a bunch of archers on the left that have a whole bunch of coins. This guy's still not going out. Oh, no, because I just made a new scythe, so he can't go out, because only 6 at a time. There we go. Plenty of coins. Okay. Oh dear. Okay. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Of course, you can't have more than 4 on this sort of row at a time, which is something I forgot about. Right. Let's see how the defense is coming along. Hopefully not too bad. So he just become night, I think, so we shouldn't be oh no, it's just become day, never mind. Got some more coins from these guys, and I'll use it to make this farm, since I was planning on doing that. And I'll build that up and then I can grade it. But I might also expand out this way. It's another farm, but it's a bit close to that bridge, so maybe I won't. I am going to be getting an obscene amount of coins from this, because of all the farms and all the archers. Much more than I'll need, and much more than I'll be able to take with me to the next level, because you can take as many coins as you can fit in your pouch to the next level, minus the amount you have to spend to actually send the boat on its way. Speaking of which, I better put some more coins in the boat, seeing as I think I said I was going to do that before and I never actually got around to it. I'm going to expand on this side as well, just for the fun of it. And it'll get me slightly more money from my archers, but mostly just more money in the boat. Pretty much all I have, really. And then I'll get some more out of the banker. And at some point I won't be able to put coins in anymore because the boat will be finished. And then I'll have to wait for the builders to come along. Oh, got no money left. And they'll finish off the boat. And then I'll be able to put more money in and it'll put it in the water. Right, here we are. And here they are. Just in time. And you can see now, I can't remember if they already had this. I think they did have this before and I didn't mention it. But they're actually wearing masks. Oh dear. And they're actually getting very close to destroying the wall there. Oh, they have destroyed the wall. Fantastic. Well, that's what happens if they destroy the wall. They just decimate your entire population. There's a couple archers that have survived, and they... oh dear. They're gonna shoot these guys, but they're not gonna do much. But basically those masks give them extra hit points, or health points, or what have you. Now, there is most certainly a problem with the greed right now, breaking through my walls. And you may be thinking, how do you solve that? Well, the answer is you upgrade your walls. But you may also be asking, why haven't you done that yet? And why, when you walk past your walls, does it not give you the option? Well, the answer is very simple. See, when you're out exploring, you can find this sort of shrine, which is made of wood, and you put money into it, and then it becomes made of stone. And then you can make things out of stone, such as walls, or you can upgrade your sort of town hall into a castle, etc., etc. Problem is, sometimes, especially when you've unlocked everything in the game, the shrine just doesn't appear on some levels, which is very annoying. Especially in this case, because it means that I can't stay here for very long, and I can't show off one of the most horrific parts of the game. No, actually, you know, that's bad, but it's definitely not very fun to deal with, which is sort of the point. Which is winter. I haven't even gotten to autumn yet. You know, you'll see as you progress, the sort of the grass down here and the trees will become more and more orange and autumny. And then eventually snow will start to fall. The rivers will freeze up, meaning your farmers don't make any money. Rabbits stop appearing, as well as deer, which means your archers don't make any money. And you fucking die because you run out of money. And you can't upgrade anything or fix walls if they break down. Which is horrific. Which obviously is the incentive for you to leave the island as soon as possible. The problem is it's much more of an incentive in this case, given the fact that I don't have the bloody stone shrine. But hey, I was planning on showing you winter. Can't show you winter because I have to leave now before my whole place dies. Or I can just die and show you what that's like, but I'd rather get to the end of this and show you what getting to the end of an island is like. So I'll munch my grass, and I'll make my way over to the boat and put the last little bits of money into it, and hopefully we'll be able to get that all the way to the port before too long. What I'll also do is I'll continue expanding, because getting rid of the trees also means that the boat progresses much quicker, because it's much slower through the forest than it is through actual land. Come on. We actually had a lot more to go with than I thought, but that's that done now. I'm actually going to put one into here because that'll actually do way better at clearing the forest, and then I'll put more into here if the boat hasn't gotten there yet. Probably will have though. I'll make my way back over to the right as well. It's possible that I'll end up not keeping that wall if it breaks, and I'll let it reseat to the previous one, which is unfortunate for the farm. And any farmers that I have which will very obviously try and go out and sort of man that farm that'll be out there. Because I can't demolish the farm. Oops. can't demolish the farm, so basically that'll be there forever. And if I ever try to get any other farm, I'll have to expand out past that again. But I might just leave it if the wall breaks, and then hopefully it'll be more likely for the greed to not have enough time to overpower me. But that is mostly just blind hope. This farm looks fine. Making a lot of money. Money that I could actually do with it right now. Fantastic. And yes, we can see that the wall has been brought back, which means the farm is not long for this world, unfortunately. Unless I do build that wall, which I'm not going to do, because it's not worth it. Oh, this might actually... No, this isn't the song, is it? No. It is certainly one of the songs I do like, but it's not one of my favourites. But it is certainly better than or I do like it more than the other sort of mediocre ones. No offense to them, I just, just don't like them as much. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to put the final 2 in, and then the boat gets put in the water. And what will happen is, you see there's an archer tower right here, is a bunch of builders will come along, and they will push the boat, and 4 archers will come along, and they'll protect the boat. Or rather, they'll protect the builders who are pushing the boat. What I'll do for now is... Oh dear. I'll get 4 more builders and 4 more archers to replace those lost. Thank you so much for giving me all of the money that I didn't fucking want. Don't worry, too much money is a problem that you won't have in the later level. You can see now that the boat has been moved off, and it's actually made quite a bit of progress. Because it's got all 4, or all 3 perhaps. Yeah, actually I think it's only 3. So I don't think there's really much of a point in getting rid of those trees, seeing as by the time they're gone, it'll already have progressed, and the port is only over here, so I am actually going to go over to the right again, and take a look-see. And here's the devastation from these farmers trying to come out and work on these fields. Fortunately though, there's enough. Eventually they're going to be thinned out with, I assume, something like 3 coming to this farm, 3 going to the other, and then there'll only be 2 to this farm and 1 to the other, and then there'll be 1 each, and then eventually the 1 remaining is going to go over to the other farm instead of this one, and then there will be no more farmers. But that doesn't matter that much because I have so much coins. Oh, actually, something which I didn't fix is the catapult. Because the catapult was obviously destroyed in the, well, actually a couple nights ago it would have been. There's so much fucking coins, Jesus Christ. What I'll do is I'll get... Oh, actually it's full on bows. I just don't have enough people. There we go. And I'll go and find some new people on this side. Actually, the other side would have been closer, but never mind. Oh dear, that's the sound of a blood moon. And it's certainly not good if I don't have any catapults at my outer wall. Boat's almost there. So what'll probably happen is I'll just hop on the boat. But I will go over to the right side and see what's happening. And I'll probably make a mad dash and shove all my coins in the boat and then be off. I'm gonna... Oh! That's very helpful, actually. I'm just gonna spam my coins down so when they get here they'll grab the coins and I won't have to deal with them as much. There we are. I don't think they actually killed any of my archers, which is useful. There's a lot of vagrants out here, so what I'll do after I eat some grass is I'll hire them back and they can be archers and builders and what have you. Not that it matters, given the fact that I'm leaving basically now. But I did it anyway because I felt like it. Let me fill up with as much as I can and pile it right on top. Even though I'm probably not going to continue this after I leave, but whatever. Here we are. I'll eat some grass just because I feel like it before we go. And then over to the boat. We did it! Yay! Day 17, if I know my Roman numerals correctly. The crown is safe, it says. So that's it. That's Island 1. Once we complete Island 1, we get this whole map, which I might blur, given the fact that it's a bit spoilery. But we have this whole map of all these islands to choose from. So you can see there, that's where our boat is. And you have all these other islands I'm scrolling through that we can go to from Island 1. If you just picked up this game, you'd only be able to go to Island 2, and it would progress like that. You'd get to Island 2, and then you'd complete Island 2, and then you'd be able to play Island 3, but also you could go back and play Island 1 if you wanted. And these things stay unlocked forever once you unlock them, so if you die, you can still go to any island you've unlocked. And there's these little, see on Island 1 you have the little archer thing. That's actually the archer statue. And as I was talking about before with the paper that you pick up from the posts, that the one on Island 1 actually unlocks the archer for that island. Or basically you unlock the archer statue, which which was on, I believe, the right side of Island 1 for that playthrough. And that means that can appear on any island from that point on. And it is a bit of a chance whether you get that stuff or not. So, you know, some islands will be a bit annoying because you don't get such and such a statue, which you might need to actually do the island very well. And that can be quite annoying. But I'm not going to progress because this video has gone on for long enough already. I really wished I could have shown some more things like, you know, the stone walls, which didn't appear on Island 1. Winter. There's some other stuff on different islands, like you get multiple portals and you get like mini portals which you have to break through in order to get to the port, and to other little bits like more statues, etc. But that can be something that you discover if you play the game yourself. I think I would recommend the sequel more than this one, but they're different enough that you might want to buy both of them anyway. I'd probably wait though until because technically this is a sequel to another game, which is the original Kingdoms, which had even less content than this one. It was just the one level, and then you destroy a portal, and then you win. Not that I want to make it sound like that's really shitty in comparison to this, but what they did was, if you buy this game, you also get the previous one for free. So I'd wait and see if the sequel does that as well, personally, because that means you can get both. But if you're going to buy any of them, I'd say buy the most recent one, because basically this one, but with more stuff and slightly different sort of progression. But yeah, there's all that stuff you can see. A lot more than what I showed in the video again. But that means there's even more left to explore. But anyway, for now, the video's come to an end. So if you liked the video, give it a like. If you want to see more videos, subscribe. And other than that, I suppose I'll see you in the next video that I see you in. See ya!